Hi, welcome to Universal Interiors. This is Les Engelstead. I'm certainly thankful that you're tuned in today and watching us here at TV3. It's such a privilege to be able to do this. And here it is, summer. Yeah, beautiful summer. And we get to be at my home area today. We're outside just enjoying all this amazing nature that we're given every day. Here in Minnesota, we sweat it or we freeze it, but mostly I think we enjoy it. We always have to talk about weather for a little while, something to give us to talk about, right? So anyways, I never seem to run out of things to share with y'all. There's just so many things that just jump in my heart, and I'm so appreciative of the words I hear from you and the comments that are given, and it's just such a privilege to do this. Today I am probably going to do a little sharing and maybe a little bit solemn, but maybe not. Just about a month ago now, I had a memorial service for my dad, Stan Ulrich, and it was such an incredible service. We did it with a lot of joy and a lot of songs and a lot of sharing from people, and a number of you out there that watch actually were there at the service, and we just were so full with the words that were shared. But I don't know exactly what's possible for those that have left the earth to see, but I just imagine God shared it with my dad because it was just what he would love. There's just a lot of people that have gotten to know Stan Ulrich in the neighborhood, being a baseball player at a time or a worker outside. He did a lot of help for those that didn't actually get paid for it because he was just aware they needed some help. You see, my dad lived out his faith that way. He saw a need and he took care of it. And that's just exactly why I think of him as such a rich man. He didn't die with much left over, but he left a whole lot of memories. Recently in the Psalms I came across, and it says, "The Lord's loved ones are precious to him, and it grieves him when they die." And I felt pretty confident about that my dad was certainly loved, because he understood who God was. He understood what's important to the Creator is his creation. My dad would often say, too, about, "Oh, I just got done feeding the birds. Because I take care of them, God always takes care of me." He took care of many flowers and trees and bushes, and the last 20 years were spent out in Cape Cod, and many beautiful pictures of his gardens that he was able to be part of. That ran deep within his mom, Marie Ulrich. And many of the family members out there too. Iris Johnson is part of that family, Yvonne Seberg. There's a number of y'all that just have your hands in the ground all the time. And I think that represents a lot, taking time to just kind of work the earth, I guess you would call it. But in that, I hope that when people do this, that they do understand that little seed and what it can do. And that's why I think it's very important that there is constantly aware of us to plant some seeds, those seeds of kindness I speak a lot of, because that's the heart of God. It says simply in the scriptures that Jesus went about and did good. Not such a hard recipe to follow. I think a lot of you do that, and those that are unaware are the healthiest, I imagine. My dad, as he got older, couldn't give as much. I think he still was able to daily, at least I bet 20 times a day, tell you that life was beautiful. He spent in a retirement center, and a number of you are perhaps there right now, or maybe your folks are there. And I just want to challenge you guys to just swing on in and make sure people know that life is still beautiful and they still have a story to share. Maybe take some time and listen to that, because that is a rich life. When we've all walked this earth, and if we've lived it as our teenagers we're still in, or if we're in our 40s or in our 80s, we have a story to share. And I think we just hurry on so much of this world. We just get caught up, including myself. I miss seeing y'all because I haven't been part of this for a while. So I get that from time to time, that when am I going to share something? And I just bubble up with stuff to talk to you, because there's just such an easy way of doing this. I get so many things that I just want to share because I get so excited about. And as I was sharing earlier, just about losing my dad and being part of a memorial service, the songs that were sung and the stories that were shared, so many of those had to do with the way he gave without thinking about it. Again, that's the healthy kind of life. We do tend to look at what we get versus what we give. And I think that we kind of blame this younger generation that they're kind of caught up in it even worse than ever. And sometimes the balance, I think, is definitely that way. They get a lot more without working for it, perhaps. They're not in the fields after school. Well, some are, but many aren't. They're able to play on the lake, or for that matter, my son just able to fly in an airplane with his buddy Sam and Adam. Off they went. And I thought, look at that life. And then I go back to going, oh, my dad, he had to work so hard. Well, you know what? I think that'll come for those boys too, the teenagers that they are, the parents that they're gifted. They get a lot of gifts. But my dad too, I believe, was given some of those things. But to make my dad the Life is Beautiful character that he was, he went through a lot of pain too. And I think that each and every one of you that watches has a hurt or two, probably a lot. Because in my 50s, I certainly was just aching today, like, oh, why does this hurt so much? And then we can get back and talk about the weather, right? There's a lot of reasons for pain, but hopefully that leads you to kind of just appreciate all those good days and health, because there is so many gifts in each and every day. I was reading from the Psalms there and talked about God's kind of grieving when we have to say goodbye. He does too. But he also, in that same Psalms, is talking about when we stop to look, when we stop to think about it, what a good God we've been given. He's merciful and he's gracious and he loves to give compassion. And because of that, we can carry around joy. That is, unless you get stuck. This particular session, I just keep on going back to my dad, because you see, my dad could have gotten stuck a lot. He had some health issues young, and then he had some good years, and then he had some bad choices, led to bad years. But all in all, if you were to talk to him, if he was to have any kind of time, he would tell you just how great life is. You see, because he forgot. That's what God tells us. Just forget that stuff. It was there to fashion us to become who we are. If we don't forget the tough stuff and learn from it, we'll probably go through it some more. Not always the case, but it ends up being that way. We have so many opportunities to do good, but if we get stuck, and believe me, I get stuck way too often. But if we get stuck in those things, we're going to miss out these golden opportunities to just share an encouragement. Because a lot of times I know that it's a little harder for some to just boldly tell that person, oh, that's really a nice looking dress you have on. Simple like that. Boy, you watch a person go. Or I sure appreciate what you did for your uncle. I saw that. And some sort of words like that means the world, and it kind of gets us doing the next best thing, right? That's the kind of world we can be about. There's a lot of things that can drown us pretty quickly. Political year right now, oh, don't get me started. Or I'm sure you feel the same way. But in that way, find something good, because everybody's got something good in there. It's important on this earth to do that. Again, nature takes you there. So today, if you do me a favor, and I know I've challenged you in this before, but get out, look at the sky, look at those trees, the flowers that are so amazing right now. Stop and say thanks. It's a gift given and a seed was sown so you can enjoy it. So go sow some kindness and have a beautiful day. And thanks for joining us.